Didn't do that. You didn't get anywhere near that kind of output out of President Biden. So, I mean, not only is he doing a lot of things, and I see the comments. HJM says he does a lot to destroy his country. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at and listen. A lot of folks do not agree with what Trump is doing. As I stated, I don't agree with a whole lot of the things he's doing. I'm not here judging whether what he is doing is good or bad. I'm just simply saying in a course of a week, President Trump gets a lot done. Gets a lot done. What else happened? In addition to Don Lemon, in addition to Tom Homan replacing Bovino, or the discussion on Alex Preddy, I'm trying to think what the government is shut down now. We now have the government shut down again. This is Trump 3.0 government shutdown. I mean, this is the third time the government has shut down under President Trump's watch. I think it's 3. It may be more than that. It may be more than that. Somebody let me know in the comments, but he already holds the record for both the first and second longest government shutdowns in presidential history. He holds the record for both of those. So I don't know if this one will reach into the 30, 40 day range like the last one did. I don't think anybody on the left or right wants a government shutdown to last that long. However, we're talking about funding DHS. And last time was it Hakeem Jeffries, or better yet Schumer, Senate Minority Leader Schumer, who many folks suggest caved to the Republicans. Thank you there, James Harper. Yeah! Appreciate the hat mustache. James, I always appreciate your support of the program. Thank you very much for that hat mustache. We're talking about funding DHS. And after a few weeks in Minneapolis, ICE is very unpopular with Democrats. Now the Republicans favor what has happened in Minneapolis by a mile. Most Republicans favor it. Now, listen, there's some Republicans that do not like what happened with Alex Preddy, but for the most part, what ICE is doing in Minneapolis, what they're doing in Minnesota, the right is very happy with that. But as I said, more funding the DHS they're talking about in this new bill, you're not going to get a lot of left that say they would. Now, the big beautiful bill, though, I believe the big beautiful bill covered a ton of money to ICE and immigration officials for up to 2029 or something like that. Maybe you can let me know on a year and we can finagle with it. But I think ICE has a ton of money coming for a while. So we're going to talk about certainly the week in review under President Trump. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, there's just been so much shit. So much shit. Not only with Alex Preddy losing his life, but then all of the subsequent statements from the likes of Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller called the guy an assassin. All of this stuff. We've covered many of these things on previous programs, but this is a weekly review we're going to be doing. And I do want to ask you guys something, because I think this is concerning with the Democrats talking about how great they expect the midterms to go. Handsome Conservative says, Biboni Barbardi, boo, this money is for your support, your local liberal. First part of that was kind of difficult to read. Thank you, Handsome Conservative. Appreciate that. So I want to, we come with clips on many shows, and today is no exception. I'm going to lead you down a path, because Democrats have high expectations. Democrats have high expectations for the midterms. However, I want you to hear a couple things. I will start out with a couple videos I want to play, and then I'll tell you where this is leading.
This is Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. I want you to listen to this sentence from Chief Federal Judge Patrick Schlitz in the state of Minnesota today. He said ICE has likely violated more court orders in January of 2026 than some federal agencies have violated in their entire existence, end quote. Judge Schlitz wrote that in a court order late this afternoon that canceled a big hearing tomorrow, but definitely made it plain that ICE is on thin ice in his court. Judge.
Problem here. They're violating court orders. There's no enforcement. There's no enforcement of what I'm talking about. I want you to hear another clip. This one is a bit older, and you probably are aware of it, but it goes along the same ideology.
Says he's found probable cause to hold the Trump administration in criminal contempt of court. Fox 8 Sharon Crowley's live in the newsroom to break it all down for us. And Sharon, there's a lot to unpack here.
There certainly is fast-moving developments in this case. A federal judge now wants the immigrants deported to El Salvador returned so they can face due process here in the U.S. Also, Attorney General says that the Maryland man who may have been wrongfully deported will not be brought back.
Now, that's another issue in regards to them suggesting that Trump violated. That was with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was big news towards the end of last year. They tried, they sent him to CCOT. He ended up being brought back. They tried to deport him again. It was back and forth. Currently, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is still in America. The judges finally prevented them from constantly trying to deport this guy. But you do hear here, they put him on a plane. A judge, and thank you for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that, Cedric Haney. Thank you very much. They put him on a plane, and the judge had ordered that he had to be given due process, and they ignored the order and just flew him on down to El Salvador. Ultimately, he ended up being brought back. But the point I'm making here is the Trump administration has a history of defying court orders.
President Trump's massive tariffs are illegal, and he cannot keep them in place if they were rolled out under emergency powers. That ruling, coming from a 3-judge court, focused only on international trade. The Trump White House now has 10 days to give the court a plan to end reciprocal tariffs, but not all tariffs are blocked. The administration does plan to appeal, and the president could also ask Congress for tariff approval.
So that's enough of the clips. I think you get the point. The Trump administration violates court orders like eating candy. We talked about ICE violating over 100 court orders according to one of the judges. And somebody in the comments said ICE did not violate any court orders, you idiot. Look, don't blame it on me, blame it on the judge. I'm just simply playing with the judge. So somebody's calling me an idiot for suggesting that Trump is violating court orders. No, the judges are saying that. Obviously, the deportation flights, once again, judicial appointees are saying he violated court orders. Release of the Epstein files. We were supposed to have all of those files in their entirety by the end of December. Once again, the Trump administration has not done that. And a lot of the stuff they have released has been heavily, with emphasis on heavily, redacted. Once again, violating more orders. And last but not least, we're on TikTok, among the other platforms you're currently watching me on. Congress had also ordered that TikTok be taken down. Trump ignored that, ultimately negotiated a deal, and we're still here. But he did go on beyond what Congress had voted on to take TikTok down and just did his own thing. So the point we're making is Trump does not really take court orders seriously. And there's a host of others he has been violating too. I'm sure many of you folks can come up with all sorts of court orders you've heard Trump violated that have nothing to do with what I just discussed. Even during his own trials, the judges were saying he was violating orders. I'm sorry says the handsome conservative says, I'm sorry what is happening with deportation. Well, if the person is in the country illegally, handsome conservative, I think Americans voted, particularly bad hombres, as Trump often says. I think most Americans want bad hombres out of the country. It's just the Trump administration has not been happy with just getting rid of bad people. It's pretty clear they want to get rid of everyone that's here undocumented, and many people that are here legally. There are plenty of legal migrants that are in this country. They want to get rid of them too. So they won't way beyond just deporting bad hombres. But the point I'm making here with the violation of court orders is something I want to ask you folks, particularly my folks on the left, but my beloved MAGA, you can answer this as well. I think MAGA is going to be happy with this, but for you folks on the left that feel confident the Democrat Party is going to do very well with the midterms, my question is, how do you know President Trump is going to follow the normal procedure if a host of Democrats win and actually appoint them to Congress? You could do very well in the midterms, but if they refuse to swear those folks in, they're just sitting on the bench. So he's clearly shown that he don't follow tradition in a million ways. In a million ways, whether it's running for office and not submitting his taxes. The guy don't even have a dog. The guy doesn't go to church like the typical president. He does not follow traditions. I'm talking about the normal traditions. But I'm also referring to the legal ones as well, such as not following court orders. So I'm asking you folks, particularly on the left, that are, imagining some celebration in the first week of November by winning the midterms. What happens if he just does not appoint the folks who won in the office and claims every Democrat victory was a fraudulent victory? What are you going to do about it? You think Pam Bondi is going to take the lead and prosecute and stop him from doing it? So I want you folks to understand that the midterms may not actually be a body of water in the middle of a desert. It could actually be an oasis. It could actually be a mirage, rather. It could actually be a mirage. A lot of Democrats are seeing that as a body of water in the middle of the desert during a period of desperation and certainly thirst. That could actually be a mirage in the Trump administration. Looking in the comments, I'm sorry. I saw that already. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. But he says, don't give them any ideas. You think they don't already have this idea, Joey Bones? You think I'm the first person to suggest this? Trump does not adhere to court orders. I think that is pretty clear. In the comments, Cornbread says, how is that legal? None of this shit is legal. Not following court orders is not legal. Yet he's having a resounding amount of success doing it. So I do want to point, remember there was an Arizona representative that was elected in an off year, and Speaker of the House, what is his name, Mike Johnson or whatever, they just refused to put it in. He just said, well, right now during the shutdown, we're not going to swear her in. He clearly could have swore her in. He just chose not to do it. What if they pick another reason to choose not to swear folks in? There's currently an investigation into how all these Democrats ran. We're alleging fraud. Until the investigation is over, we're just not going to swear them in. Who's the hierarchy that's going to hold them accountable? You think Pam Bondi's going to step up and say, no, you can't do that if a judge rules and says they can't? You think the Supreme Court? So I do want to talk to you folks about that consistently seem to think you're going to find water to quench your thirst in the midterms. Could actually be a mirage. So also, in addition to that, and I know that definitely didn't make anybody's day, particularly on the left. I probably just pissed on a bunch of parades by saying that, but I do want you guys to enter the midterms with realistic expectations. President Trump is a fighter. He's going to go out swinging. Understand that. He's going to go out swinging. And when I say he's a fighter, I'm talking about picking up bar stools, kicking you in the nuts, and biting. He is a fighter. He's going to go out kicking and swinging with whatever he can pick up. If he can pick up a way to violate how the Democrats won, he'll pick that weapon up and swing that. So understand that this may not be a matter of overwhelming votes for Democrats equals victories for Democrats. There's other weapons out there, such as just simply not following the orders of the people. In addition to that, I want to talk to you folks about something that has been proposed for today. I don't know what value it is, but I want to hear from you folks. The Pretty Good national strike. Apparently, they're calling for a national strike. This is basically to oust ICE. They're going against the Trump administration. They're suggesting that basically stop all business and commerce. Stop all business and commerce. So they don't want, they don't want you going to shopping today. This is today. This is supposed to be happening. They don't want you going to shopping today. They don't, if you got school or anything, they don't want any type of business or commerce happening. I see in the comments, Deuce says it's already starting in Georgia. By way of yes or no in the comments, how many of you are participating in this? Yes or no in the comments. How many of you are participating in this today? No business or commerce. Any of you folks, gangster grandma, I see you. Nope, I'm going out tonight. Holla, says Theodore Maker. I was about to go to the movies today. Guess what I was going to see? Somebody in the comments, you should know. I thought about going to the movies today, but guess what film? A lot of people don't go to the movies anymore. Everything's being watched on Amazon, Netflix, and things like that. You're right, Theodore McPhail. I was going to go see Melania. I do want to see it. I know there's a huge boycott. I know absolutely nobody's on the left, but listen, I'm political. I like to hear, what's going on in the world politically. She is the first lady. I do want Ash of North Carolina says, damn, man. And Gangster Grandma calls me a sellout for wanting to see Melania. I just want to see political films. I mean, I have their books. I mean, I got Michelle Obama's book over here. Clinton's book is over here. I got talking points from George Bush's next to me right here. Books from Chris Christian. I mean, listen, I like politics. Melania Trump is part of that theater. She's part of that history. Now, Cornbread said bootlegging. Do they still do that? Do they, back in the day, you lived in the hood, you go to the currency exchange or you go to the barber shop or something, and dude come in with a whole backpack full of CDs and you can buy more. Does that still happen? Nowadays when you can get everything on social media, I haven't bought a bootleg in a long time. Anyway, certainly we'll talk about this briefly and whether or not you believe this national strike will have any impact whatsoever on the Trump administration. Now, many on the right are going to say it's not going to matter, but understand President Trump, the one that allegedly runs the country like a business, money does matter to Trump. When you start fucking with his economy, he does come out of the woodwork. So if this does actually take place, and obviously some of his own associates and wealthy friends will look, I'm hurting financially, do something about this. So if it goes far enough, don't just automatically assume it's not going to work, because Trump does listen to big changes in finances and the economy. Last but not least, government shutdown 2026. We're going to just speculate here. Right now it's in the first few hours, day one. The last one was like 30 some odd days, was it? Or did it even reach 40? Just speculating. How many days you think this will last? Maybe it'll be over with Monday, meaning it only lasted 2 days. Put in the comments how many days you think this will last this time. 30. James Harper, you think this will last a whole month? They're making it sound like this one won't last that long. 30. Kami Killer, that's a hell of a name. Kami Killer says it won't end. What do you think? The government's going to be shut down for 3 years? Remember when I say violating court orders, I think Trump would just open it up and say, fuck the Democrats. If it went on too long, I think Trump would just say it's a matter of national security for the nation. He'd just open it up and say, fuck the Democrats. Go call Pam Bondi, have me arrested. Understand violating court orders means Trump has more power than any president you've ever encountered. Trump is probably more powerful than any other president, likely besides George Washington. Because they were just they wanted George Washington to be a king. He turned it down. So other than George Washington, Trump is probably the most powerful president America's ever had. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about the good and bad of President Trump. I want to hear from you folks. We'll celebrate the things you believe he's done that's good, and we'll certainly discuss the things that you feel that he hasn't done well. And some of those, listen, for some folks who say there's nothing good, he secured the border, gas prices are fairly stable and acceptable. Nobody's really complaining about gas prices. Obviously, the Lincoln Rally Act, Maduro's out of power. We can talk about the tariffs, NATO's contributions to their war efforts, their military efforts have went up. There are good things to point out about President Trump. It's not all bad unless you really just hate the guy. So we're going to talk about all of that. You guys know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We are MAGA friendly. We've always been MAGA friendly. We always will be MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome on the program as well. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie So I'm having dinner with Q. So everybody gets to speak. You can be critical of anyone on this program, including yours truly. That's how free speech works. Nevertheless, looking in the comments, and by the way, tap the screen, get us up to 20,000. And TikTok is, or better yet, Arletha is advising me to encourage the viewers to share the live. I don't normally do that, but please do that. It does help out the algorithm, helps out the show, and does not cost you a cent to do so. So share the live. I just waited my 3 years. What do you mean by that, Cornbread? Tap the screen, by the way, though. Get us up to 20,000. We'll take the first caller. Looking in the box, GE bringing Sun back from China, but there's been so many layoffs. What are you saying? They're bringing jobs back or something to that nature? You don't know how badass it is for you to do this, man. Most don't have the balls. I'll take that as a compliment. You'd have to give me more of an explanation on what I'm doing, but I do appreciate that. I do believe in free speech from everyone. So we don't block, ban, or censor anyone based on their commentary. Doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. So we'll go ahead and get into the show. We have 3 more years of this craziness, says Cornbread. Could be less, could be a lot more. Point being, if Trump loses in the midterms and things go traditional like the Democrats think they are, you don't have 3 more years of craziness because Trump will essentially be a lame duck and a lot of his policies will be blocked by Congress and possibly a Democrat Senate. So you don't have 3 years. But when I say possibly a lot more, if Trump does what I just stated, claim that all the Democrats won by fraud and prevent them from taking office and certainly maybe even try to get reelected in 2028, you could be dealing with this for a long time. So it's really in the hands of President Trump because at the end of the day, the level of enforcement against him doing anything outside of tradition is virtually non-existent. We'll go straight to the box now, and we'll start the program off with the one and only James Harper. Good evening, James, or better yet, good afternoon. Welcome to the program, James. So what do you think about what I said? The idea that the Democrats are expecting this huge victory in the midterms. Do you feel confident? And thank you, Gangsta Grandma. Do you feel, that was a hell of a galaxy. Do you feel confident that the Democrats are going to do this?
I think it's going to go traditionally, but I don't think Trump is going to play fair. He's already tried rigging congressional districts to try and get more seats. So to say that he's not going to try doing more shit, like you just saw what his people did down in Georgia, they went and raided a election office.
The voter rolls. So if he doesn't play fair, and thank you, Gangsta Grandma, for that. Yeah. So if he doesn't play fair, then should the Democrats be a bit hesitant to celebrate ahead of time?
What they need to do is they need to find some way of getting these damn judges to do their damn job.
Well, the problem is, even if the judges do their damn job, as you're suggesting, if there is no enforcement, okay, if you violate a court order, you're normally held in contempt, and a judge can even lock you up as a citizen. But as a president, if the judge holds you in contempt and they want some sort of enforcement to be taken against you, they got to get Pam Bondium to do it. And you know the Justice Department under Pam Bondi is not likely to impose any real severe penalties on President Trump. And thank you, Gangsta Grandma. I certainly appreciate that. Wow. So, I mean, what avenue do the Democrats have if they just say fuck the law?
And at that point, it's up to our military to do their job.
The military?
Yes.
Wow. And what would you expect from that avenue? Now we're talking about civil unrest.
Well, it's going to be civil unrest. You know it's going to be. Once you go against what the people wanted, you know they're going to start cutting up. And he's going to try to send the military in to stop them. And the military's got to do their job and say, no, we're not going to stop them because you're wrong.
Do the opposite? If Trump loses in the if Trump loses in the midterms, do you feel confident the military would do that? You got to assume that there's significant amount of MAGA in the military.
I won't say it's significant. Like, I guarantee you they're not in the majority.
Yeah, but there's also people that lean right that's not MAGA as well.
There's people that leans right that's not MAGA. Well, if they lean right and they see Trump doing this and they are complicit with it, then all the values that they swear they uphold are full of shit.
Well, Trump put his hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution. Does that mean anything
And
to
the
you?
only people that thought that he was honest about that is MAGA. Everybody else knew that he was full of shit.
Well, I can't speak on it. I mean, how has he violated the Constitution so far, in your opinion? And by the way, real quick in the comments, hold on, before you respond to that, in the comments, a lot of folks point out that he did not put his hand on the Bible. That is true. His second victory, he did not put his hand on the Bible. The first time he won in 2016, he did, but you're right. In 2024, he did not put his hand on the Bible when he swore in, so it is what it is. And by the way, isn't it interesting that MAGA don't have a problem with that?
Because he's their guy. Remember, they say he was sent by God. He's the most Christianist, the most devout Christian you ever seen. But he broke damn near every damn commandment.
I don't know. How did that work for him to, for folks to suggest? And when I went to a Trump rally myself, I had a Trump supporter in line beside me look me in the eye and tell me that Trump was sent here by God to protect America, basically. And I didn't even think to ask that question. Like, how? Well, no, he hadn't become president yet. The rally, we were still rallying to become president. But that is a good question to ask. How could he be so Christian and not even swear in on the Bible? I mean, I suppose there's a reason for why he didn't put his hand on the Bible, but you didn't hear anything from MAGA or Fox News about that whatsoever. Yet they were all over Obama for not wearing a flag lapel pin. This guy swore in and didn't put his hand on the Bible. Do you think he's Christian?
There was, at one point, he had a lapel pin of his own face.
He swears. He had a lapel pin of his own face.
Yeah.
The man loves himself. What can we say? Thank you, Cedric. The man loves himself. I mean, he's done more for blacks, James, than anybody since Abraham Lincoln, he says.
This man says he's done a lot of things that, like, anybody that can inflate anything they do to the level that he is usually considered, like, certifiable. But to this guy, no. But there's one thing that people don't want to seem to understand. They said they want America to run like a corporation.
Yeah.
Trump is treating America like a corporation. He's doing all the things that you see. Like, whenever they want to save money, what do? They cut labor force. When you got like CEOs in there, what do? They normally abuse their power. That's what Trump is doing. He did that shit in his businesses. He's doing that shit now as president.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, when America said the country needs to be ran like a business, I mean, you would assume they thought that out, right? I mean, you're correct. That is how corporations run themselves.
No, they wanted a smart, successful businessman. What we got was one of those regular CEOs that normally get voted out or get taken down by one of our oversight organizations. That's what we ended up getting.
But wait a minute, you say we ended up getting someone comparable to a CEO that ends up getting kicked off by the board or something, as you're suggesting. But many say that Trump economically, internationally, I got a lot of folks that'll tell you Trump is doing a really good job. What is he doing in terms of running the country like a business? What is he doing that's so bad to make you say something like that?
What am I doing? What is he doing? Let's see. There's tariffs. He sued the government over bullshit claims, and because his people are in, he wins those claims. Remember, $230 million, and now he's doing $10 billion because he says his tax returns got leaked. And
well, in regards to Trump's tax returns getting leaked, I think while I think $10 billion is an insanely ridiculous sum. That's normally how it works in court. You ask for a ridiculous sum, you meet somewhere in the middle. But if Trump's tax returns were unlawfully leaked by the IRS, I'm going to submit he actually has a legitimate case. I mean, if one of our tax returns got leaked by the IRS and put on public display, that is wrong. So I don't, listen, I don't think, because remember, we as taxpayers got to pay that damn lawsuit. So I don't want him to get $10 billion, but I will submit to you, I think he has a legitimate case.
See, that's the thing, Tim. He's doing all this, and the more he does this, that's less money that we'll have for our stuff. Like I said, he's sitting there milking the government like we said he was going to do. Like he swore up and down crooked Joe Biden and the Biden crime family doing. He's doing this at a much exponential rate.
Yeah, I don't. For a guy that bragged that he didn't take a salary, he sure has found a way to make that up. I don't like the fact that he's suing the government, and this isn't the first time he sued the government. I don't like that he's suing everybody like that. I mean, he sued colleges and universities, he sued television stations and things like that. And you notice you don't hear him bragging about all the charity. When he said he didn't take a salary, he claimed, I think he gave it to Wounded Warriors or something. You don't hear him talking about giving any of this money away. So he is pocketing all of this money. So I don't.
That's the thing. He swore he was giving that money, but then guess what ended up happening? He actually got sued by a Wounded Warrior, and judges had to force him, hey, give the money that you said you were giving.
So wait a minute. So he said he was giving money to injured and disabled vets and was actually lying about it?
This is the same guy that defrauded the children's charity, Tim.
This I want to be like Trump. How does somebody get away with all this shit and rise to the highest level in the world? How does this happen?
Because did you not hear what he says? He loves the unintelligent.
I mean, they didn't let Biden and Obama go away unnoticed. They pointed out their flaws. I mean, they're not that unintelligent.
You could tell me that they're that intelligent, but every time you point at a Trump flaw, what's the first thing they say? That's fake. It didn't happen. That's propaganda.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. In the comments here, Hands Conservative says, make no mistake, somebody MAGA do care about him not putting his hand on the Bible. Well, they're not saying anything about it. None of the right-wing networks, the OANs, the Newsmaxes, the Fox News, the Ben Shapiro's, the Megyn Kellys, none of them are pointing out that this guy became president without deliberately kept his hand down by his side and didn't swear on him. That would have been huge news if Barack Hussein Obama did that. So that is something to point out. They were in Obama's church, Reverend Wright. The chickens are coming home to roost. This guy swears in and doesn't put his hand on the Bible, and it doesn't get any news at all. How does that happen?
Well, okay, think about it like this, Tim. If any other politician created their own version of the Bible, what would
Well, he could have swore in on that. Why not swear in on the Bible you created? That could be a promo for that Bible.
This man he attacked a peaceful protest to get a photo up in front of a church holding the Bible, and then he held the Bible upside down.
What are you suggesting, that he's not a big fan of the Bible or something?
Remember, he swears up and down like he loves the Bible, but when they ask, hey, can you quote your favorite verse? He couldn't quote shit. He came up with all kinds of.
I think he said he likes them all.
Excuses why he do it.
Yeah, I think he said he likes them all or something like that. And they asked us for his favorite Bible verse, something to the notion of he liked them all or something like that. I don't know. I mean, like I said, and I see in the comments, Straight Talk Commerce is saying that, him not swearing on the Bible is perfectly innocent. Yeah, I'm sure it would have been perfectly innocent if Obama did it too.
Hold on. No, don't even try that bullshit, because whenever the Muslim came in and they swore on the Quran, MAGA went crazy. They went back shit talking some. No, it's supposed to be a Bible. You can't use anything else. It's supposed to be that.
Yeah. Listen, there is no way in hell MAGA's going to ignore a Democrat getting sworn in and not putting their hand on the Bible. We can make up any story we want to about anything, but if Obama particularly, but even Biden or Clinton, if any of them got sworn into the nation's highest office and they didn't put their hand on the Bible, that would have been huge news. And it just was not for folks on the right. I mean, like I said, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. But like I said, this guy is the king.
Straight talk, you are the only person that lies out of their mouth so goddamn much. And you swear up and down everybody else is lying. You say shit that can be easily proven to be false, and you swear up and down, oh, that's not the case. It's like this. I never heard that man lie, but he's recorded saying over 40,000 lies.
Well,
Stop talking about you are the truth.
well, while Straight Talk admits he's never heard Trump lie, his definition for what a lie is may vary from yours. He's saying that if Trump says something that did not happen or it turns out not to be true, as long as Trump did not know ahead of time what he was saying was not true when he told you, then it's not a lie. So he has a different way of viewing it. And
one of the main lies that is he continues to say to this day, I won the 2020 election. And you keep bringing it up. All his people said, no, you didn't. 60 court cases said, no, you didn't. The fact that he had to send his people in with one of his damn secretaries into a state office just so they can try to like come up with some things saying like, oh, look, he really did win.
I don't, something, at this point, even though I know Trump vehemently thinks he's won or he wants to make it, he's not a back down type of guy, but I mean, it's past the statute of limitations. I don't understand what is the purpose. You talk about Trump derangement syndrome. There could be a thing of 2020 election derangement syndrome. I don't even see the value in doing this other than suggesting that, see, what I found from 2020 shows the Democrats have cheated in the midterms. So perhaps it could be a prelude to what's coming up in November.
No, what he's doing is he's saying all of this because of his ego. He can't believe that he didn't win at something. So whenever remember anything negative, it's not me, it's somebody else.
So then I'll ask you what we talked about in the beginning. If Trump gets a shellacking, to quote Obama, if he receives a shellacking in the midterms, do you believe he will interfere in any way, shape, or form with those folks that won being sworn into office?
He's already trying to interfere with, before we even do the election, he's already interfering saying, hey, I need you to do a redistricting, even though it's not within the time.
Yeah. But what if the redistricting plan in Texas, countered by California, what if that ultimately does not work and the Democrats still have a resounding victory? Do you think he will interfere after the victory has taken place?
Yes, I guarantee he will. He'll tell Pam Bondi, hey, I believe there was election interference or there was irregular voting things, and I need you to go into this state that didn't vote for Republicans, this state that didn't vote for Republicans. Oh, that black-owned area where they went Democrat. Oh yeah, they definitely did something wrong over there.
Yeah, I wish I could push back or see the other side of it, but I absolutely believe that's likely to happen. And it's going to be only Democrat areas. I don't know where the mindset comes from. And I see in the comments somebody even said that the what is this? Says Elf TikTok or something says because the 2020 election definitely was rigged. I don't understand why the Republican mindset is Democrats cheat and 100% of Republicans are honest and innocent because they didn't do any type of investigation in any Republican held area at all. So
you want to know what's crazy?
Sure.
There was fraud in the 2020 election. Guess who was the ones committing the fraud?
The fake electors that pled guilty to were all Republicans.
Well, them, and then guess what? There was other Republicans that got caught voting for doing the same thing. Like we always say, an accusation is a confession.
Yeah. And the problem, and that's what I said, the problem is any Republican that gets caught doing something that is suspect, you're not going to hear about it from the Trump administration. So if you only follow Trump and right-wing media, it's going to look like 100% of the fraud is Democrat because they don't even cover Republican fraud. So I don't know, but Trump is not letting it go. So,
and what makes it worse, like the people that they're accusing, like those governments that are complicit in the fraud, they're Republican led. They're Republican led. So how is it that they rigged it against Trump, but it was a Republican led group that did it, and then the people that was investigating the fraud were picked by Trump, and even they said no, there's no fraud here.
So if he does do something of significance to try to prevent duly elected Democrats from taking office, you believe the military will be involved? You believe that's the next step and that will happen?
They should be involved. I don't know if they will be involved, but they should be involved. And then, not to mention, we already know what Mike Johnson did, because this shutdown is actually his fault, because he's the one that decided, okay, things ain't going my way, I'm going to recess Congress. Even though in the Senate they made changes that should have went to them. So they can't say, oh, the Dems didn't do this. No, the Senate made changes in the rules, and there's no House to sit there and vote on them.
Yeah. Troubling times. I got to move it on, James. Troubling times. We'll see. We got what? Probably 10 months, 9 months. Is it 9 or 10 months? We're just about in the second month of the year, so about 9 months, a little bit more than 9 months left into the midterm. So troubling times. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it doesn't get to the point where we're talking about military and all of that shit. But in the era of Trump, nothing is predictable. James, thanks for coming through.
No problem, Tim.
Good. All right, tap the screen, by the way, folks. Get us on up to 40,000. We can certainly make that happen on this Saturday. I appreciate you folks tuned in. No football. No football. So here we are this weekend. Anyway, my Bears are long gone anyway. Looking in the comments, I always thought that the idealism of being free in America was a fantasy anyway, because it is. Depends on your definition of free. I mean, as someone who has actually lived abroad, the level of freedom in America is not like it's unachievable in other places. It depends on what you want. Look, if you want to be free to own, a lot of military weapons and things like that, that might be something you're more free here. But maybe you want to be able to, smoke a joint or marry a same-sex person or, pay a prostitute. That freedoms like that, you don't have those here as much. So it depends on what your level of freedom. I mean, we're still not to the point where marijuana is 100% legal in this country. That stuff's been legal in other countries. People have been free to smoke a joint and get high in other countries, a long time before they have been here. Same thing I mentioned with nudity is another one. In America, nudity is criminalized. If you walk around, and people can see shit, that's a crime. You can do that in other countries. Nude beaches and things. I mean, nudity is legal in a lot of other countries. So it depends on what you want for freedom. Well, why the hell do I want to be naked all the time? Well, why the hell do I want to carry around a military weapon? I mean, it depends on your personal preference. But I will submit to you that the freedom in America is based on your perspective. America does not hold some kind of trophy when it comes to freedom. It's just what you feel confident, what you prefer in terms of being free. There's a lot of things you cannot do in America that you can do in other countries. So that depends on what your perspective is. Eloan says, Tim, people are debating what happens if a president rejects election results. That alone shows how broken this country is. It is truly sad. I agree with that. I absolutely do agree with that. We are debating what happens if a president rejects election results. It is not, I put emphasis on this, it is not fear-mongering or something that is out of character to discuss that when it comes to President Trump. That is a real possibility, because that's exactly what he tried to do with the January 6th deal, is prevent Vice President Mike Pence from swearing in Biden. He's already done it before. So he's already tried to do that. So that absolutely is not fear-mongering when it comes to President Trump to have that discussion. And everyone is right that we haven't had that discussion in regards to any other president. So, yeah, that definitely shows the conditions in America have changed. Anyway, get us up to 40,000. I'll take the next caller, as I stated. Tap the screen. That's right, Shrimp. We only been waiting for... what does that say? Some of these comments you have to put the spectacles on. Now it moved. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. America is the land of the free and the home of the highest incarceration rate. We are a revenge-oriented society. It's simply put, if you do something wrong in this country, we want to take revenge on you. And we don't forgive, because even after your incarceration period is over, we still want you punished. A lot of folks want that felony or want that crime you committed to cause you problems for the rest of your life. So we are a revenge-oriented society. We do not forgive very well. A lot of other free countries, you commit a crime, the punishments are a lot less than they are in America. And oddly enough, the crime rate is less too. My opinion, treat a person like an animal when they're incarcerated. That's exactly what you're going to release. If you don't prepare them to be a civilized member of society upon release, you're going to get the animal. You want prison to be harsh, right? You don't want them eating good food. You don't want them watching cable TV. You don't want them getting to college. You want it to be harsh. Okay? Well, when you release that person, you release the person that is prepared for the harshest shit to come. So that's what you get. Anyway, most countries send their offenders over here. There is no evidence of that vacuum weight travel or whatever it says. The idea that, you know, countries have opened up their prisons and insane asylums and they sent them all to America. That's something that Trump often says. Notice they haven't given you the names of any prisons or insane asylums for where this has happened. Look, you know, they're eating cats and dogs at the same time. Just because someone says something doesn't make it so. Trump says a lot of things that when it comes down to actually presenting proof, it doesn't always hold water. Anyway, we're going to go back to the box. They came over with Christopher Columbus. Damn. Talk about a comeback. Yikes, Adrian. Yo, Adrian. All right, going back to the box, the one and only Gangsta Grandma. Good afternoon, brother. We're on a little bit earlier today. Good afternoon, Gangsta Grandma. You're gonna be nice today. You're gonna be nice today. You're gonna be nice today.
No.
I'm hypnotizing you.
No, you ratty raccoon. What the hell, man?
What did I do?
So I've been off for a few days, you know what I mean? And my inbox blew the hell up, saying you've been a ratty raccoon and stuff. Come and help us. That's what they've been saying. They said, Gangster, get your ass in the box. I said, what box? They said that your ass is going like deep balls in, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
two things. One being you absolutely were missed. We noticed your absence.
Hell yeah, man.
But number two, there is no ratty raccoons on this damn program. I don't know what the hell they told you.
You're Uncle Ruckus, the ugly ass ratty raccoon, because your dumb ass wants to go see Melania. Like, you have no damn fucking respect. You have no damn class or anything. I gotta go see the snow rat. You think she's gonna show her coochie?
You never know. I mean, she has a nice looking vagina. Look, wait a minute.
I know you're fucking a man with a fucking sock. For God's sake, you a fucking hole in the damn wall. You know what I mean? Like, that's just some nasty shit. I tell you.
Okay, first of all, we've all seen the full spread of Melania. It was all over the internet. She is not unattractive.
Oh my God.
She is not unattractive.
I'm bisexual. When I tell you that coochie look nasty, I wouldn't fuck it with my 10-foot pole and my dog's dick. You know what I mean? That shit was nasty.
She was
like corned beef. Look at everything on her body is fake. At least my BBL is organic. Corn, you know what I mean? Corn, everything I can eat.
Cornbread. Cornbread. That's what you're looking for.
Mac and cheese.
Well,
you know, and when I clap my ass and I twerk, it don't stay still. It's all natural, okay?
I mean, that actually sounds kind of good, but let me just say, we've seen
it is good. My ass is good.
But wait a minute.
To an ass.
But I think
damn Rubbermaid.
I think you're being I think you're being unnecessarily harsh to the first lady.
I'm not being unnecessarily harsh. I'm not like you. I don't have like white cock in my mouth saying, gag me, bitch, gag me. You know what I mean? Like, go get you some Kleenex and wipe out the cum, because you really are doing a damn job today. You be sniffing. I mean, damn, Tim.
What?
Can we at least have a black man back? Can we at least have you back?
What is so wrong with going to see a movie that discusses the first lady?
It's called morals. It's called morals. That's why we're boycotting this shit. Look what the fuck he's doing to black and brown people. He's going after Haitians right now. You feel what I'm saying? You come quite out of a cockroach. You are. You just want, just like, I gotta have the whiteness next to me. They don't like your black ass.
What?
You're never going to be on their table. So grab Peter, ready fucking raccoon for once in your goddamn fucking life and come to the black side where you belong.
So let me get this clear. Simply going to see Melania, an actual movie about the First Lady, makes me a sellout.
Yes, you're a big ass sellout.
Let me take it from you. I want to ask you folks in the comments. I want to get clarity on this. For folks in the comments, wait a minute. For folks in the comments, yes or no, does having an African American go see Melania make that African American a sellout? Yes or no in the comments? Because I don't see it.
Yeah. Why do you think we're boycotting you, numbnut?
You don't like Trump.
Dum-dums.
I mean, I get it. You don't like Trump, but it's a movie.
It's because we're boycotting it for a reason, you dumb nut. Oh yeah, all your little racist mofos like Gen X. Oh, go see it. He'll put you in a tree faster than anybody else will.
What is
your little buddy? Oh, you come to my barbecue, he'll poison you with his raisins and potato salad.
Who are you referring to?
Gen X.
You think Gen X would lynch someone?
He's a Proud Boy, you numb nut. What do you think Proud Boys are?
He says
What do you think a Proud Boy is?
He says
Triple K.
He says the Proud Boys are about unity and they have black members.
You believe? Oh my! And you're a black man. You believe that? You numb nut. Yeah, you be put in a tree faster than New York second. You be like, oh, I'm fruited.
I don't know. I gotta say,
you believe white people really bad. I mean, got me fucked up.
Well,
I would never be out here, but I won't go to his. I won't. I gotta be nice.
I see that. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned Gen X. He's in the comments and he asked a question. So, am I a sellout if I go see a movie about Martin Luther King? Which is a good question. So, if a white person sees a movie about MLK,
he is the triple K. He's a definition of a great, I can't say group, racist. Proud Boys is a racist group. He goes through that, he might get educated. Hallelujah.
But what about what about his question? You're saying that going to see Melania makes a black person a sellout, but what about a white person?
Because we're boycotting that, you numbnut.
What has Melania done to the black community?
Really?
I'm asking this.
Her husband is in office. And hell, she's even in the Epstein files. Did you see that? Oh, that Epstein files is big and bad coming out. Popping, boy. Let me tell you, Trump's all up in it. And unalive the baby, girl, it's all up in that shit. Yep.
Do you believe it's remotely possible that Trump would have used his digits to enter a minor?
Yep.
Yeah, and folks are asking about, have I seen the file release? Yeah, and real quick, Ellen says, Tim.
It's bad. It's real bad. It's something that they couldn't even release. That's how bad it is.
No, they could release it. They just don't want to release it. They can release it.
No, the media has some of it and they can't release it. But they've been doing it on the back. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Mm-hmm. The people elected a pedo and a baby unaliver. Go figure.
Is there any redemption if it's years ago?
I don't care. Really?
I'm just asking. I know it's a harsh question, but I'm asking.
That 12-inch cock is really deep in your throat. You're gagging. Go wipe the cum out your mouth.
No.
At least get some chocacoochie up in the shit. At least do that.
No, but hear me out. I'm saying if he done something heinous, but it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, do you still hold him accountable?
What? Are you serious, Tim?
I'm just asking.
I need to go mail you some e-pads. Some knee pads for real.
Well, I mean,
always a rapist is a rapist. What is that? You a pet? Wow, Tim, are you fucking serious?
I'm asking a question, and I see in the comments, Rooster said, "What kind of question is that?" Let me just say this. And by the way, I see
what are you tripping on?
No, I want to get the dialogue. I'm asking this question because I want to get the understanding.
Tim, always a rapist is a rapist. You think
he's 80 years old, just about gangster. You don't think he's still doing that kind of shit now? He's 80 years old.
I don't give a damn. He did it when when he was younger, he needs to pay. He needs to actually be underneath the damn jail, or he needs to be pushing up daisies, 1 foot in the damn thing. I wish Father Time would just take him out and go put him to the pits of hell. He don't even need to go to the kingdom of heaven. And God knows. That's why he says he's not going to the kingdom of heaven. Why? He's a rapist and a murderer.
Well, he has himself personally stated, I don't think I'm getting into heaven. In the comments, someone asked, did you know Donald
And
J.
you over here like this. You over here like this. Like gagging, man.
No, I'm not.
Like, God, yes, you are.
What in the actual fuck? No. In the comments, I had a viewer ask, did you know that Donald J. Trump dated a black woman? Her name is Cara Young.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She dated a black woman. He's still racist. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking kumquat of a fucking cockroaches. You motherfuckers are the most stupidest bunch of idiots that voted for this man. You know, I promise you, Tim, I promise you on God, when he said he loves the uneducated, half this fucking country is uneducated. The system, our education system failed these mofos. They failed them. You know, how could you go in there knowing he has shit on him? And they still voted for him. Oh, and guess what? He doesn't want people to get homes. He wants to raise the prices.
He did say that. Yeah, he did say that.
So you know what? Fuck around, you found out. But you know what? The black woman that had a funny laugh, the black woman you guys couldn't understand because she was educated, the black woman that had all the degrees would have given you mofos 25 grand to get you in that fucking house.
Well, I'm hearing what you're talking about, the black woman. I'm just going to say, folks suggested this woman.
I think you need to put that fucking picture down and keep your black mouth shut. I'll tell you.
Folks suggest this woman was going to destroy the country. That's why.
We would have been in this. He's destroying his damn self, is he not? The economy's down. We're losing a lot of jobs. More jobs than we are losing so many jobs. So
the economy. Wait a minute. The economy is actually not that. It's not great, but it's not that bad like you're pointing.
Tim, we're losing more jobs than we're making. Everything. You know what, Tim?
Wait. I didn't say the economy's doing well. I didn't say the economy's doing.
It's bad, Tim. It's bad, Tim. Groceries is up. Oh my God, 10 cents off. Gas is down 10 cents. I'd rather take $20 of gas, pay them a thing. They have my groceries up. People's losing their jobs. Amazon 16,000, and that's a second round. They're going to do another round. UPS is going. FedEx too. They're all losing jobs. So no. And guess what? No, it's not. Gas is down over $1.
He said $1 a gallon. Wow.
Yeah, well, you know what he's smoking on is some crack, so honey, I wouldn't. Oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. So everything is up. You know what I mean? And people's losing their jobs. So you know what? Biden didn't have job loss. He was gaining jobs. The border's wide the fuck open, like Melania's legs. Everyone's going through them. Even Tim.
Wait a minute. Some of that's bullshit, but the border is not open now under Trump.
Yes, it is. The numbers don't lie, Pookie.
Gangsta Grandma. Under President Trump, the border is more secure than it's ever been in U.S. history.
It's not. The numbers are not lying because they're walking in. They're not catching them. If the numbers are low, they're not catching them, Tim. That's why you need to get educated. You feel what I'm saying? He likes dumb motherfuckers like you. You fucking damn snow roaches. They don't believe, you know, oh yeah, it's took care. No, it's really not. But hey, go fucking
You really believe that folks are walking in the country right now under President Trump?
They're still getting in, Tim. They're still getting in. You know what I mean? And you know what? The saddest part about this shit is our United States is burning, and we have motherfuckers like you that will go see a fucking movie with our enemy. That's the enemy.
It's a movie.
The enemy.
I
You a
watch
sellout.
movies.
You
I
a
watch
sellout.
movies
You a
about the
trick.
third. Wait,
You
I
a
watch.
trick.
I watch
You a
movies about the
trick.
Third Reich.
You a trick.
How
You
am
a
I
black
trick?
man.
Why?
After your soul is white. You a trick.
How I gotta be
Go
a
get
trick?
this white dick out your mouth. You might, or at least go get you the chocolate dick. At least, you know, get some extra protein or some shit.
What?
Because that protein ain't doing justice with your fat ass.
Why are you making me gay? I'm not gay. I like women.
Hey, you should be, because you're taking a lot of cock up your ass because you over here sipping to the white man.
Okay. Well, the point I'm making is I don't see the logic in coming in this country illegally under the Trump administration. The treatment is super harsh. So the idea that people are walking in under Trump, in my opinion, makes no sense. Just the way he is, treating people is a deterrent.
There's a black man on his knees for a white man saying, yes, master, yes, master. You know what I mean? Oh, I'll give him props. Give him props for what? For putting ice on everybody? Unaliving our allies?
I can give him props for it. I can give him.
Nice, huh, Tim?
I can give him
Now
props.
they're coming out there, and then guess what? To the black people, my people, that saying they're going to sit this one out, now they're coming for us next. Because guess what? They're coming for the Haitians. And now, you know what? As they say to the white T-man, all black people look the same.
Well, they're not coming for the Haitians. They're coming for a temporary
Yes,
protected
they
status.
are. Yes, they are right now. Yes, they are.
Explain.
Remember cats and dogs? The ISIS in Ohio right now.
Yeah, but they're going for folks that are.
Yeah, but get the cock out your mouth. You're tripping. Yeah, but
Well, they're not. Okay.
Well.
What? What is Trump did? Because you're indicating that Trump is racist or something like that. What has he done to make you talk in
Really,
this
Tim?
manner? Yeah, really.
Really, Tim?
Why are you saying this?
Really? All he has been doing is spearing hate. His last year. All he is doing is black and brown. We gotta make it what? White again. We gotta make it white again. Oh, I can't even say it because of V. I can't say it. You feel like it's vermin. They're poisoning our blood. You don't think that shit's not racist?
Yeah, but what Bama Landscaper says, damn, if she is so miserable, why does she stay here? Suggesting you should leave if you don't like it.
Why don't you leave with your white trailer ass? Because your white people came over here and stole the land, okay? And brought slaves back. How about that? So before you start talking, get educated, okay? Because the Mexicans were here before the white T-man, and the indigenous people were here before the white T-man. So this is their land. And yet the white T-man wants to kick them off their own damn land. Go fucking figure, right?
Jamie B says you are white. In the comments,
Yeah, I'll show you white.
snow roaches.
I ain't a snow roach. I'm chocolate all day, bitch. And honey, I melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
Ooh, Dosito
And I have a
three.
real BBL,
How about this?
honey. I don't have to go pay for my shit.
How about this? Dosito 313 says you're calling out racists yet making racist comments. Yet Trump is a racist. Stop protecting yourself, your own self insecurities, gangster grandma. Even called you out by name.
My own insecurities. Is it the white man doing that really well? Because they don't want black and brown people up in here, so they're doing a G-side right now on us, trying to cleanse this country out. Get the fuck out of here. I think you should get educated before you start talking. That's why he likes the uneducated. Because he's not doing that to South Africans. He ain't doing it for the people who always take their visas from Europe and shit. He's only doing it to the black and brown people, the poor black and brown people. They come in here, do a job that the white T-man won't do. Oh, yeah, by the way, the black jobs, oh, yeah, like he said, they're taking the black jobs. Yeah, he wants you out in the field picking cotton and shit. Yes, master.
Well, there's a lot of black MAGA that still remains. Black MAGA thinks he's doing a good job.
That's a yes, master. The house ninjas. I had to slip up on that one. House ninjas. Yes, master. Get the rope. Get the thing. I'd rather get beat. I want to get next to whiteness. They'll give me a little bit of money. They sold us out.
So,
Like AJ, he wouldn't even add me up. That motherfucker was too chicken shit to come against me. 'Cause I would roast his fucking sorry ass. I'll make his ass turn white.
hey, good luck with that. So you sound like you
Yeah,
really
his white
think.
cock all deep in his ass. For 10 inches.
Now let's talk.
I'm
Okay, well
making that bitch.
let's change direction while we got a little time left, and talk about the good things that Trump has accomplished. How about
What good things?
Well,
What?
Well,
Tell me. What good things has he done?
we mentioned gas.
Damn it. He
Gas.
needs to take more aspirin or something. That'd be a good thing.
Speaking of
Oh,
aspirin,
that'd be a
speaking
good
of
damn thing.
speaking of aspirin, did he not bring down some drug prices? Let me add that to the list.
No.
Yes.
No, Pookie. I'm telling you, get the cock out your mouth. At least, you know what? At least when I say I suck dick, it's chocolate. Okay, and I'm proud of it.
You telling me Trump didn't bring down any drug prices at all? 1,000% discount?
No, your snow roach did not bring down none. Hello, none.
How about this one? You can't deny that out of the NATO member nations, he forced them to up their expense on defense.
Do you know why they're doing that?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He got him to do it.
It does matter because they think he's gonna go in and take Greenland, so they have to go fight him. They had to go fight the United States. See, he's a big, ugly.
They took Gangster Grandma off the program. Unfortunately, we don't block, ban, or censor anyone, but unfortunately, we can't control folks, the TikTok censors. Gangster Grandma is a passionate guest. She's always welcome back on the program, but that does occasionally happen. Yes, Gangster Grandma says the rats. That happens. But we're all about free speech here, so understand we don't have a moderator here, folks. So it's not, some folks will, that was your moderator. We don't have them. We don't use moderators here because we believe moderators can be biased just as well. So this program has always been in place since day one, about 4 or 5 years ago. We've never had a moderator. It's all about free speech. Cowboy CC says we love her. Okay. And I see followed by Big App says Gangster Grandma has a potty mouth. Well, we elected somebody that does that. I mean, so what's wrong with that? I mean, you call Trump a potty mouth and they call you a snowflake. So, I mean, listen, if the leadership has no problem, using profanity and things like that, you can't blame the citizens for doing it. Let's be fair now. Anyway, continuing on with the program, and Gangster Grandma, you're always welcome back. So looking in the comments, we'll continue on and tap the screen, get the likes on up to 70,000. Feel free to share the live as well. If you enjoy uncensored dialogue, all sides of the aisle, feel free to follow the program if you're currently watching us on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. If you happen to be watching us currently live on YouTube, give your boy a sub. Handsome Liberal on all platforms. We're also on Rumble, X, Truth Social, and Clapper as well. We're just not live at this point on those. Looking in the comments, the leader of America said free speech, you can say what you want. I don't know about that. He may tell you that, but you see what he did with Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. He didn't like their free speech, so I don't know if he actually means it. He says it, but I don't know if he actually means it. You have free speech, but if you start talking about him, he may come after you. Maduro sent people here. All I'm asking for is evidence. If we're going to suggest that countries south of the border emptied their prisons and insane asylums and sent people to America and all that stuff, is it wrong to ask for evidence? I still have yet to hear the Trump administration give us the name of an insane asylum or prison that was emptied out and show a whole bunch of immigrants they deported back that came from that prison. It's just something he said. I mean, so I believe, listen, I'm not saying the guy lies all the time, but I'm saying there's nothing wrong with questioning what he's telling you. And I haven't seen any evidence of what he's talking about. Miss Mo Better, no one does it better. Good evening. Welcome to the program. By the way, folks, help your boy out with the TikTok cap, hat, mustache go. Shout out to those who support. Miss Mo Better, don't know what happened. I tried to bring her up. And for some reason, she didn't come up. So we'll move on. Straight Talk Commerce.
Man, I need you to make an agreement with me that you bring me up, then Gangster Granny. That way I don't have to suffer through her.
That ain't how it works.
What do I got to do to make that happen?
Well, you can support the program a bit more, but that ain't normally how it works. What did she say that you disagree with?
Well, look, I want to start here. Proof that what you say about the president is not true.
Explain.
Okay? None of it. You exist. So he's not trying to take over any government and do anything to free speech. Listen to the words that come out of your mouth about our wonderful commander-in-chief. And you being able to say that on a platform with 160 people in here, and you have never once, to my knowledge, suffered a misinformation ban or misinformation. TikTok treats you with kid gloves, man. You spew misinformation like a fire hose.
No.
And they have never once taken you down for it.
I spew misinformation like I spew misinformation like a fire hose, you say, and that's coming from a man that says Trump has never lied. You've never heard Trump lie. That's coming from a guy that says that. Give me the example.
No, look, you explained my position on that beautifully.
Which is ridiculous, by the way. But go ahead. Give me your.
the exact definition of a lie, Tim. We're not going to get into that
the definition of a lie is saying some shit that's not true. All of the stuff you added to it is not part of the definition.
Wait, Tim. What's the difference between being wrong about something and lying about something? What's the difference? Words mean things.
Here's the difference. If you say some shit that's wrong, and when it comes out it's wrong, you don't correct it, you don't apologize, you don't even address it. How the hell we don't know you didn't intentionally lie?
You may not know that they didn't intentionally lie. You may think that person lied, but what I'm saying to you is you have to prove that the president knew what he was telling you.
No, you don't have to do all of that. The fact that he didn't, the fact that he doesn't follow, the fact that he says something that's not true, that's like it. If I walk up and step on your foot and you yell out, ouch, and I look you in the eye and I don't say shit, you're left believing that I done it intentionally. You didn't apologize. You didn't say nothing about it.
You can do that. I don't. In your example, if you look at me, you may not know why I'm freaking out.
I can't.
That's what goes through my mind. You may not know that you stepped on my foot.
What if you tell me I stepped on you? What if you actually tell me and I still don't say nothing?
All right. So here's number one. Okay. What did Teddy Roosevelt?
You didn't answer what I just asked you. You didn't answer what I just asked you.
What did you just ask?
What if I step on your foot, you yell out, and you actually tell me, man, you stepped on my foot, and I don't say nothing?
Right. Well, if you deny stepping on my foot.
No, I didn't deny it. I just said I didn't say shit. Okay. I heard you say it, and I just ignored you.
So you think that that's you lying to me?
No, I think that means no. I think that means that would lead you to believe I intentionally tried to step on your foot. If I tell Trump,
nope. Maybe again, you are embarrassed and don't know what to say to me. Maybe you are afraid to say, "Hey, Wayne, I stepped on your foot," in fear that I'm gonna whoop that ass for doing that.
So I just walk away.
Yes, I've had that. Look, I go to a club every once in a while. I've had people bump into me or I don't assume that they did it. I don't assume that people are out to get me and that they do things on me purposely. Now, look, I would rather not go down this rabbit hole with you. There's so much.
You're already in it. Okay, go where you want to go.
You did that, not me.
Go where you want to go. That was funny, by the way. That's crazy.
Let me explain something to you. Teddy Roosevelt. Did he put his hand on the Bible or no?
I don't know.
When he was inaugurated. Okay, let me give you a history lesson. He did not have a Bible anywhere in the vicinity. He did not use a Bible. John Quincy Adams, what did he swear allegiance to? What did he put his hand on?
I'll tell you one thing, straight talk.
The fact that
you got to go all the way back to John Quincy Adams.
No, I'm working forward. I'll work forward for you.
Work forward.
All right. Hold on a second. I looked this up because it was strange to me that the president, and I even watched the video, and if you were a fair-minded man, you would bring up the inauguration for your people to see that the Justice John Roberts did not give the president time between time to put his hand on the Bible. Melania had to push through the crowd and have two Bibles, not one, two Bibles there, and he immediately began the inauguration. He didn't give her time. It was a rushed thing. For some reason, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court rushed through the ceremony. No. I don't know why, but it is very obvious that that's the case.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you're truly a Christian, Trump could have easily said, wait, there's no way I'm going to do this without acknowledging the man above.
Millions of people. I'm sure you're all cool and calm and collected, but I see how you are. And I believe you. Okay, I don't think that you're right, but I don't think you're lying either. I think that you actually believe you would have said, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm going to put my hand on this Bible. I do believe that you think you would do that. But in reality, let's get back to reality. In reality, you are under a tremendous amount of pressure. There are thousands of people in attendance. There are millions of people watching you do this worldwide. And frankly, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. He had two of them there. And in his first inauguration, he put his hand on the Bible.
That would make a lot more sense if we were talking about somebody like Obama who rose to power and all that. But somebody like Trump, who has operated under pressure as a CEO, he's already been president before. To suggest he's under pressure is insane.
Yeah, the president, you're right. The president is cool, calm, and collected at all times and never misspeaks.
I can't think. Can you give me another example where Trump appeared to be under pressure? He is cool, calm, and yeah, he is like that.
Every single day. Every day. But he pushes through. No. Every day, people are out to get him. Every day, he says things that you guys don't like. And the reason he says it is because people are out to get him all the time. Let's look at Epstein, these files. We talked about this before.
They said he put his hands in a 13-year-old. Go ahead and talk about the files.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling you. Okay, they said, well, I will tell you that the FBI said it never happened. It was not something that they considered credible. The Department of Justice.
Wait, the same FBI that said he lost the 2020 election. We believe the FBI now?
Yes, sometimes you believe the FBI, sometimes you don't. This is you.
How do you know which time to believe them?
You got an FBI director that just got in front of Congress lying his ass off, and you guys didn't say a word of.
I'm trying to figure out, how do you guys differentiate when you want to believe the FBI and when you don't? You guys told me the FBI is what caused January 6th. How do you know when to believe them?
When you have an FBI, and I'll grant you this. It looks to me like, and by the way, no, hold on. The FBI didn't just say it was not credible. Back when she reported it, they found no credibility. Now, I don't know who the FBI, who the agent was that made that determination. I won't pretend to here. But back when she made the allegation, the FBI followed up and did an investigation and found no credibility.
But that's my point, Straight Talk. They also looked into Trump's claims of the 2020 election and found no credibility. We didn't accept their words then.
Tulsi Gabbard reportedly, now I haven't seen it yet, we'll have to sit and wait, but Tulsi Gabbard has information that is going to debunk that. So let's find out. President Trump has never said ever that election was not tampered with. He has steadfastly said
he said he won.
The 2020 election was not real.
No, he said he won the 2020 election by a landslide.
That's what I said. That's what I just said.
The FBI says there is no credibility to his claims.
Yeah, I understand that. And you are correct about that. Now, what I am saying to you is Tulsi Gabbard is about to release an absolute shitstorm of information showing that President Trump is right and the FBI ignored the election.
Let me make something clear. The guy who claimed he won the 2020 election is in control of the person that's releasing this new bombshell. She has no. Hold on. Straight talk. Tulsi Gabbard has no credibility while doing that for the Trump administration. Tulsi Gabbard, wait, you think there's any chance at all that Tulsi Gabbard would tell us that Trump's claims are not vindicated? You think if it went the other way, Tulsi Gabbard would ever release that? The only thing any FBI agent under Trump is going to say is he was right. They're never going to say he was wrong about anything. She has no credibility.
Then what you have is a government that you only trust when you're in power and you do not trust when you're not in power. This United States is done, finito.
Why not
finished.
why not get a third party to look into it?
Well, again, that's kind of. I mean, she was a Democrat.
No, Tulsi Gabbard is firm. Tulsi Gabbard is. Tulsi Gabbard was all over Fox News as a commentator before joining Trump. There was a big gap in the time before Trump used to be a Democrat. What's your point? I mean, he used to say I identify as a Democrat. That ain't saying nothing.
No, it is actually. It actually says that at one point he agreed with you, and now he no longer agrees with you. He's seen things that he no longer agrees with you. Let's move on to one other subject that really I lived in Germany for a period of my life.
Okay.
And do you know what the difference between the German nudity laws and the United States nudity laws?
Explain them.
Okay. In the United States, you can only be nude in public places, and that's the city ordinances. In Germany, you can be nude in public places, and the city cannot pass a law that does not allow you to be nude in public.
Kind of like the Second Amendment. It sounds like the Second Amendment, where the cities can't change the law.
Right. The cities in Germany can't, but in the United States, let's say Tim wants to go walk around in Florida buck naked. Okay, there are 15 towns and municipalities in Florida alone. California has some. I haven't found a state yet that does not have a place for Tim to go walking around buck naked in that city.
Let me know where they can do that in Chicago. Let me know where that can be done in Chicago, since you can't.
No. Chicago I'm talking about. If Chicago tomorrow passed a law saying that you can whip it out and be naked as a jaybird anywhere in Chicago, that would be Chicago's right to do.
So what's your point?
My point is there is virtually no difference between the laws in that European country. Germany is really, that's been most of my experience. We have the same laws here. If you want to be naked and walk around, pass laws in your community, and that's you have it.
But based on what you're saying, because in places like Denmark, you can go in Thailand, you can hire a prostitute, or you can do the same thing in Pahrump, Nevada. So what you're saying is, well, because there's a law in Nevada that allows you to do it, we got the same laws, even though prostitution is illegal in 99.9%. I mean, yeah, the law is there, but wait a minute, I wasn't finished. The point I'm saying is, you can talk about how you can change the law and compare the nudity laws here in America to the ones that are in Germany, but fact is, you're going to be criminalized a lot more places in America for doing it than you will be in Germany. It's as simple as that.
No, the difference is, let's say that prostitution is a very good example of this. Let's say that the city that you live in passes an ordinance that allows prostitution. They don't allow, and they regulate it.
Is it against state law?
Now, what they would have to do is they would have to pass an exception for that municipality. So they would have to go to the state legislator, get an exception for that, which is what Pahrump did. And they would have to get an exception, but they absolutely could have legalized prostitution in that town, heavily regulated. They would have to satisfy the state that taxes were being collected. 100%, you're free to do that.
Yeah, but the problem is America is more overwhelmingly Christian than a lot of places. So you say change the law, but you say change the law. That's not going to happen in America. So there are things there are parts of American life that are not as free as European or Australian life. I mean, it's just the way it is.
No. It's the people. What I'm saying is, it's the people, and there's a reason for that too. You want to know the reason for that?
You can give me whatever. You can give me whatever reason you want, but ultimately, it still falls down to the fact that you can do this stuff elsewhere, and you can't do it in America.
No. You can. The question is whether Tim, listen. You have certain traditions in your family that I don't have to abide by. You do them, I don't do them. It doesn't mean that I can't do them. It means that you do them and I don't do them.
None of this is changing what I just said, though.
Of course it is.
No, it's not. You're making it sound like prostitution in America is just as legal as it is in Thailand. It's not. It's not even remotely close.
Wait, hold on. I'm saying that the only reason
I don't care about the reason. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, you can't do it here. You can get
advanced concepts.
I get the reason, but at the end of the day, you're free to do it there, and you're not here. Just like you could change the law to allow firearms in Australia. We could go back and forth a million directions with that. But at the end of the day, you can have firearms in America, and you can't have them there. You can go back and forth about the reasons, but that don't change the current situation.
Basically what you're saying is you don't want the people to have the freedom to make those decisions for themselves.
I am saying currently as a person, you don't have those freedoms in America.
To have their freedom of choosing whether they want these things.
So based on what you're getting, the statement you're making, based on your statement, then everywhere on the planet is just as free as anywhere else. It's up to the people.
No.
What's the difference?
I'm telling you, I'll tell you. Because here, you decide. If the people vote and say, we want prostitution, we want nudity, and we want pot, they can vote.
What's the difference? Okay, that's the same all over Western Europe, down in the South. So in other words, all of those nations are just as free as the other ones.
But you're not letting me finish.
Because you're not making sense. Go ahead and finish. Land your plane.
God damn!
You're not making sense.
There are places where the people in power don't give a flying fuck what the people want. They don't have.
I said Western Europe. I said Western Europe. None of that stuff you're talking about applies to Western Europe or Australia or any other countries I mentioned. That stuff don't apply to them. There's no dictators in Western Europe or Australia.
You're not even letting me finish my statement. You're stopping me before I know.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Doing it. What do you think I feel?
I'll give you 30 seconds. Land your plane.
Have the opportunity to say something.
30 seconds. Go.
Now you expect me to do this in
You
30
can't
seconds?
you can't make this point.
Wound my ass up.
You can't make this point in 30 seconds. It takes you longer than that to make this point.
You haven't stopped talking.
Make your point.
Here and in those Western European countries, the people get to make the laws. They elect people that make the laws. They get a chance to make those decisions for themselves. In those Western European countries, every single one of them decides whether they want pot, whether they want prostitution, whether they want nudity, same as here. There's no difference. You in Pahrump, Nevada can smoke pot, fuck a whore, and be buck naked in public. All of those things are true, and you can do it in any city in the United States. The same as any European country, because you are the one that elects the leadership here, and you tell them what laws you want. Do you understand? There's no difference.
So in other words,
and by the way, they could do it while shooting 9mm in the air, but they don't want to.
Okay, so you made the same point I made. So in other words, America is no more free than Western Europe then. We're no more as a country. We brag about how we're the freest country on earth. Based on your explanation, we're no more free than they are.
Well, no. Here's where that comes in. Now they have leadership. Hold on. Here's where that comes in. They have censorship law, and we're getting them here too. You're right. We are losing our freedoms a great deal. But here's where we used to be what you just said. We could, and the fact that you're saying all this shit in this country, I'm assuming you're in the United States.
Yeah.
And you're definitely broadcasting in the United States. So you're free to say whatever the fuck you want, obviously. I've never seen you penalized for some of the bullshit you say.
Gangsta Grandma just got penalized. Gangsta Grandma just got penalized a few seconds ago.
Bad about a country.
Gangsta Grandma, we get penalized on social media. Gangsta Grandma just got penalized for saying what she wanted to say a few minutes ago. So it does happen here.
No. She got penalized because she was saying words that people find profane, not because of her political belief. Well, listen, when she tells you that you suck this and you take it up the, where, look, some people are going to be offended. Me personally, I think it's hilarious.
It's either freedom of speech or it's either freedom of speech or it's not. That's all we're saying.
And I agree. And I would never ever tell her she can't say those things. Okay. I don't like listening to it myself, but I would never tell her she's not allowed to say it. And I will say one last thing before I go. To all Democrats, you already won the midterms. So calm the fuck down.
Okay.
Calm down. You already won the midterms. Rest easy. Go home. You guys.
Why do you say we already won? Why do you say we already won?
Because I think you're going to get fucking creamed, and I just need you to just calm down.
So in other words, you just lying.
I think you are going to take it so far up the rear during the midterms that it will never elect another Democrat in this country. And I can't wait. I'm here for it.
All right.
That's why.
Straight talk. Thank you for coming
Good
through.
talking to me.
Spirited debate
Thanks,
as
buddy.
usual. Come on back anytime. All right.
Thanks, Bob.
You too. Moving on with the program, by the way, tap the screen. Straight talk always drives my comment section crazy. Get your boy on up to 75,000. We can make that happen if you let your thumbs not be lazy, because they're rigging it as we speak, says Rooster. Rooster says, yeah, we're going to lose the midterms as Democrats because they're rigging it as we speak. JPT Farmer says the guest was so lost. Tap the screen. Yes, big dog. It went over a little bit. This guy is going to say Dems cheated when it doesn't go his way. That may happen. That may actually happen. I just care about the truth. I enjoy discussions with people who have different opinions. That's how we learn. I agree with you, Ranchi, 100%. But yeah, I absolutely, I think we went back and forth, my last guest, but we kind of came to the same conclusion that the idea that in America, we're the most freest country on earth is not true. It's not true. He has a different way of explaining it, but at the end of the day, he did admit the same thing, that you're no more freer in America than you are in most of Western Europe. Now, you're freer than North Korea or maybe China, but there is a host of countries where the citizens elect the government and elect different laws where they want to be free and what they want to be censored. Most of Western Europe is like that. I mentioned Australia is like that. New Zealand is like that. You're not going to get any additional freedoms going to those countries if you leave America or vice versa. Now, you may exchange some things, as we were mentioning, nudity and prostitution and smoking marijuana and things like that. You can do that more in other countries than you can do here. But firearm ownership and things like that, you can do that more in America than you can do in those countries. So when people say that America's the freest country on earth, it's usually firearm-loving citizens. They're not, the stuff I'm talking about, marijuana and all, they're not concerned with that stuff. It's usually God-fearing Christians that believe that stuff should be a sin anyway, such as gay marriage. Gay marriage has been legal in Europe a long time. In fact, interracial marriage was legal in Europe. You had World War I, African Americans fighting in World War I. When did that end? In like 1918? That actually stayed in Europe because they fell in love with someone of a different race and it wasn't legal here. So that freedom was over there. You know, when did it become legal here? Like in the mid 60s, 64, I think, or something like that. So you're talking 50 years almost, or 40 years, or whatever the hell the math is. So it just depends on what you consider freedom. There are certain rights that they've had in Europe long before they've had here. And obviously with gun rights, we've had that right here, and a lot of those countries have rescinded that right. Looking in the comments, though, Straight Talk says, keep thinking Europe is non-racist. No. I don't believe there's any country on earth that has two different types of people where some folks are not criticizing the other group. But the history of racism in America is so lengthy and documented. It's different than it is in Europe. Plenty of black English folks are all over social media complaining about racism in the UK. It does exist over there. But the Klan and all of that kind of shit, they didn't go that far with it. America took racism much, much further. Jim Crow and all, they just took it a lot further than most Western European countries. So it does exist there. But the level of it here has been significantly greater. As I just mentioned, interracial marriage was legalized there rather, far before it was here. Same thing with gay marriage. I'm sure there are people in the European theater that don't favor the LGBTQ community, but it was legalized over there considerably. Obama is the one that legalized gay marriage. That's how long it fucking took. 2015. That's gay marriage. 2015 for a country that started in 1776. That's notable. Anyway, looking in the comments, how can a land of copper tone people be racist? I don't know where to go with that. There is no country better than the United States, says Coach Briggs, depending on what you want to do. You think the transgender community thinks that? Depending on what you want to do. It's simply put, it depends on what you want to do to make a statement like that. Maduro said, okay, I don't know. Let me make sure I'm not held back on my YouTube here. For those who may not know, Hitler himself studied Jim Crow laws to implement them in Germany before he took a stranglehold of Germany. Look it up if you don't believe that is true. I've heard that many times. That is true. That Hitler took a page out of our book for what he did to the Jewish people. Going back to the box, let's try it again with Miss Mobetta. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap gold, folks. The hat mustache, lazy supporters in here. Miss Mobetta, good evening.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, you're following up Straight Talk. Did you hear anything you disagree with?
Everything that he said. You know what the problem is, Tim? He get up here and try to run this show like it's his. Every time you say something, you give him facts and stuff. He oh no, but you wait a minute. Go do your own live if you want to control shit. This ain't your show over here.
He's a passionate caller. He's
no. There's a thin line between passion and stupidity.
Well, I will suggest he's no different than Gangsta Grandma. He just leans right. Gangsta Grandma is pretty harsh as well.
She is. You let her get away with that too. You know what I'm saying? However, I'd rather not hear him.
What does he say that's so repulsive to you to make that statement?
When he said that he ain't never heard Trump tell a lie is the biggest lie I probably ever heard.
I gotta say that is different. Even most MAGA will admit, listen, Trump is a human being. All politicians lie is what you normally hear. To have someone suggest Trump has never told a lie, that is a bit different. MAGA don't normally say that.
Crooked Talk, go ahead with yourself. Beat it. You beat it.
Is that the new name, Crooked Talk?
Crooked Talk. He ain't shit straight about him.
Oh my God. I mean, listen. Now, let me ask you something.
Jobs in 8 different countries.
Oh my! Let me ask you something that's a little bit more dark, sinister, even. And I'm really surprised that this is even a topic of fodder. But the Epstein stuff that was released yesterday is suggesting that Trump may have entered a 13-year-old digitally. Do you believe that?
I do. I do. I love it too. I do. For the simple fact of the things that he used to say, period, which he said, I'm the owner of the pageant. I could walk in there with them butt naked and all kinds of stuff like that. When you said a certain caliber of people, you can just go and grab them by the P word. Stuff, things like that is what makes him guilty in our eyes.
Yeah, but you're talking about
if the stuff wasn't that bad, and if he had no involvement in any of those files, they would have been released.
Wow. What about the claims that you often hear from MAGA that he didn't do anything wrong, but it may be people he's protecting from being harmed or something of that nature?
Anybody that's in those files, they're guilty. There's no innocence when it comes to those files. I'm sorry. There's no innocence other than the victims. Other than the victims, there's no anybody that in there. I don't give a damn what their caliber was. You're guilty because whether you were doing it or not, if you knew about it and didn't say nothing, it makes you just as guilty.
Well, I mean, it could. What about folks who may have went to visit Epstein or went to hang out at one of his parties that didn't do anything wrong, but if the FBI is monitoring him, their name may just inadvertently appear in the files, even though they didn't do anything wrong. I mean, Hillary Clinton. Okay. Let's say Hillary Clinton went there with Bill, And Epstein and Bill and some of his cohorts went off into another room or another wing of the place and did some bad stuff, while Hillary Clinton was just entertaining guests, her name is going to be in the files.
Well, okay, put it all out there. And that's exactly what them Clintons just said when they didn't.